We begin tonight with the war in Ukraine. On Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Kiev. New Delhi announced his visit today. For security reasons, the specifics have not been shared. This is a significant visit. It is happening at a critical juncture. Ukraine's offensive inside Russia is intensifying. Ukrainian soldiers have blown up another Russian bridge. This war is also being fought on Russian territory now. This is the third Russian bridge to be destroyed in the last couple of weeks. These bridges are strategic assets for Moscow. The Russian military uses them to move troops and supplies, which is why Ukraine is targeting them. It is blowing up Russian bridges to disrupt supply routes and cripple the Russian forces. Ukraine's offensive has entered its third week, and this will set the tone for the talks between Prime Minister Modi and President Zelensky. India has been asking both sides to try and end the war, so when Modi meets Zelensky, he is expected to do the same again, ask Ukraine to ease the tensions. And it will be a timely conversation because Ukraine has plans to escalate this conflict in a big way. Zelensky is pursuing an ambitious goal.
Є за сьогодні хороші.
All this is more than just defense for Ukraine. It is now our primary task in defensive operations overall to destroy as much Russian war potential as possible and conduct maximum counteroffensive actions. This includes creating a buffer zone on the aggressor's territory, our operation in the Kursk region.
І проводити.
So Ukraine wants a buffer zone inside Russia. How much territory does it already control? As of last week, nearly 1,000 square kilometers, it is a small block of Russian land in the Kursk region. Ukraine controls it, and it is expanding its operations, targeting other areas close by. Ukraine has also taken Russian prisoners of war. More than 150 of them have been captured. In fact, Zelensky says the operation is not over. He plans to launch more attacks and capture more Russian territory. Meanwhile, Russian forces are fighting back. Ukrainian soldiers say they're facing stiff resistance. These are soldiers fighting inside Russian territory. Listen in.
It's tough. How else could it be?
But is it worth it?
Yes, soon everything will be awesome. The Kursk nuclear power plant will be ours.
How is the situation?
In short, it's getting more difficult.
The Kursk nuclear plant. That is the next target of Ukraine. It is about 60 kilometers away from Ukraine's border. Russia has already sounded an alarm. It has withdrawn staff from the facility. Russian troops are digging trenches around this nuclear plant, hoping to keep the Ukrainian troops away. If Ukraine strikes this nuclear facility in Russia, it will be a dangerous escalation. But why does Ukraine want a Russian nuclear plant? For leverage. For more than 2 years, Russia has controlled the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in Ukraine. This is Europe's largest nuclear facility. Russia controls it, and Ukraine wants it back. But how do they force the Russians to hand it back? For that, they would need leverage. The nuclear facility in Kursk could provide that. If Ukraine takes it over, it can negotiate a swap, Kursk for Zaporizhzhia. A nuclear plant for a nuclear plant. It is a risky gamble. Converting nuclear facilities into war zones is never a good idea. The Zaporizhzhia plant has already seen a lot of fighting in the last 2 years. Now Kursk could be caught in the crossfire. The IAEA is sounding an alarm. That's the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. It's the United Nations nuclear watchdog. It says the safety situation at Zaporizhzhia is deteriorating. The plant is coming under repeated attacks. Over the weekend, there was a drone strike nearby. Around a week ago, one of its cooling towers was hit. Ukraine and Russia are trading charges, both blaming each other for the strikes. The IAEA has a team of inspectors near this plant in Ukraine. Their reports are alarming. They say there have been more explosions. They keep hearing firing from machine guns time and again. And this is a very dangerous situation. The fighting in Zaporizhzhia has brought the world on the brink of a nuclear disaster. Now another nuclear plant could be dragged into this war. This is a nightmare in the making, and it could get worse because another front may open up in this war. The Ukraine-Belarus border. President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus says Ukraine has sent more than 100,000 troops there.
There are over 120,000 Ukrainian troops on the Belarusian-Ukrainian border. They are keeping them near our border. Seeing their aggressive policy, we have introduced there and placed in certain points. In case of war, they would be defense, our military along the entire border.
So Lukashenko is worried about the war spilling into his country. Amid all of this, where is Vladimir Putin? He's visiting Azerbaijan. The Russian president arrived there yesterday. He met the president of Azerbaijan today. Reports say they discussed the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, two former Soviet states, at loggerheads over a region called Nagorno-Karabakh. Putin has offered to end the conflict. He spoke briefly about Ukraine as well. He referred to the situation as a crisis. He said he won't let the Ukrainian incursion distract him. So does Vladimir Putin have a trump card up his sleeve? The world is waiting for his next move.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.